Hey guys, this is your girl Alicia Pink, and today I am doing a podcast about the power of forgiveness. Okay, guys, you know, forgiveness can set you free. Holding a grudge can literally make you sick. We have all been hurt, okay? Hurt people hurt people. Most likely, the person who has hurt you are hurting themselves. Still doesn't give them the right, but you can choose to forgive for yourself or hold a grudge that's going to make you sick, literally. For example, if you ever watched the show 13 Reasons Why, I'm a huge fan. The guy name is Monty. Also, the guy Bryce, Monty and Bryce is probably two of the most hated characters in the history of hating characters. I know I hate them. But anyways, but Monty, for example, I might give him as an example. He was being beaten by his dad. He was hurt by his dad, and we eventually found out he was gay, and he couldn't, his dad hated it, and he beat him and couldn't stand him for it as well. And he took his anger out on one of the guys that was constantly being bullied. And he hurt him really bad. It's a really graphic scene that I'm not going to talk about, but it hurt him really, really bad. So he took his anger out on that. Monty just wanted to be loved. He just wanted a dad that loved him. He wanted love from Bryce, because he wanted to fit in, and Bryce was his only friend, so he just felt like he had to be like him in order to be popular. A lot of these bullies out here, including kids, including adults, are hurting. They are hurting. They probably deny it, but they are hurting. Hurt people hurt people. You don't hurt people for no reason, okay? And a lot of people will hate you for no reason, and a lot of people hate you because they wish they had what you had. They wish they looked a certain way and you look the way that they want to look, so they hate you for it. They don't want to come up to you and say, hey, how did you get that? Hey, I want to do that too. Can you show me? Can you teach me? No, they want to hate you. And this world is full of hurt people, and they go around and hurting other people. It's like a chain reaction that needs to stop. Like the verse in Luke 23, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. That is so true. A lot of people don't know what they're doing. They just go around hurting people and thinking that that's normal because they seen that growing up. Some people probably seen their dad hurt their mother, so they grow up and they hurt women, or vice versa. You see your mom hurt your dad, so they grow up hurting men or whatever. We need to stop this cycle. We need to forgive each other. Forgiveness, transform anger, hurt into healing peace. Forgiveness can help you overcome anxiety and depression and rage. I know it's hard to forgive. It was hard for me to forgive as well. I had to forgive my father. If you listen to my podcast, Daddy's Broken Little Girl, I tell you guys that I grew up without a dad, and it really affected me negatively, and I had a huge grudge against him, and I hated him. I couldn't care if he lived or died. I literally could not care, but I had to grow up, and I had to forgive him, because he did not know what he was doing. And you just, I just had to forgive him, and I move on with my life. We don't have a relationship now, but I still forgive him, and I love him, and I wish him the best. I had to forgive my siblings because I always felt left out. I always felt neglected by them, and they were never there for me, and I just, I realized, their point of view, they were older. I was younger. They had their own life, so they couldn't always be there for me. I also had to forgive my bullies. I was bullied in middle school a lot. And I had to forgive them because they were kids. They did not know what they were doing. They were children. And I had to forgive them. Kids can be cruel, but hopefully as they get older, they learn from their mistakes and they longer become bullies. A lot of the kids probably were going through a lot more stuff than I was going through. Growing up, I had a mother who loved me. Some of them didn't have that. And they probably saw that and they hated me for it. Who knows? I don't know. You know, Forgiveness is the best form of love. It takes a strong person to say sorry and even stronger person to forgive. Okay? You are powerful. You are a powerful being and can forgive. We are all spirits, having a human experience. We can forgive each other. We can forgive and we can forget. A lot of people saying, "Oh, I forgive you, but I will never forget you. I will never forget what you did to me." And I'm like, how the hell is that forgiving? I just seen something that was so powerful. The guy that was killed by the cop lady who thought that was her apartment, that made this excuse saying she thought that was apartment and shot him dead. His family member forgave her for doing that. That is a strong man, okay? He forgave her. A lot of people end up forgiving people that kill their loved ones. And people don't understand that. And how can you forgive someone who done that? And it's like, I know it's hard. It was hard. You think it was easy for them to do that? You think if you really think it was easy, you're crazy. Okay? It wasn't easy. I'm pretty sure that they felt rage. They felt anger. They wanted to get back. They wanted to even hurt them. I'm pretty sure of it. I know I would feel that way. But eventually I know I would have to forgive them. But the problem, like I said, the problem for many of us is that sometimes we can choose to forgive another, but still in our hearts, the anger and resentment lingers. If you still feel some kind of resentment towards that person, most likely you haven't forgiven them at all. It's best to forgive and, try to let the past go. A lot of people have been hurt mentally, physically, sexually, and, I've been hurt, so it's just like, it's hard to forgive someone for violating you in such a way. But how can I say this? But we have to learn to forgive and forget because, we're not forgiven for that person. We're forgiven for our sanity and for our health and our well-being. Because if we hold on to that, our shadow self and our monkey that's on our shoulder is going to be there forever. And you don't want to die with that, on your shoulder and on your conscience forever. You just want to forgive that person and move on. Move on with your life. Don't think about it. It's in the past and it's over. It's never going to happen again. How do we give up on a grudge? We have to look at the root of our grudges. Why do you really hold a grudge? Share your feelings. Talk to a professional. Counseling, I am all for counseling. I'm all for therapy. I'm all for life coaching. I'm all for all of that. That can help you heal and that can help you forgive. Transmute your negative feelings and look at the positive. I just did a podcast about happiness. Happiness is a choice. It literally is a choice. So we have to learn how to transmute that negative energy and turn it around. Like I said on my podcast previously, I was fired from a job and I hated them. I literally hated them. I had a huge grudge towards them because they fired me, and I felt like I was unjust in being fired, and like I was working in a hospital and I was working as a nursing assistant. Nursing assistants, we are at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the medical field, and a lot of people treat us like we're nothing, and we are replaceable, and we don't have a voice. We don't have a say, and they don't care about our voice or our say, and they will fire us in 2.5 seconds like it's a game. And I hated that job. I saw the way they treated us. I saw the way they treated their employees like we were garbage, and in a way, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I woke up spiritually, and I am so happy they fired me, because I am now working somewhere better, and also I am in tune with my spirituality more. So, and I forgave those people. I had to learn to forgive them and forget. Even though they were awful, I had to learn how to forgive and forget them. So guys, yeah, we have to forgive and forget. You know, um, we have to forgive anybody who has ever harmed us, for our inner peace, and that's what we got to do. So I hope this helped you guys. And I hope you are forgiven because of you and not for the person. Don't even think about that person. You don't even have to see that person to forgive them. You can do a little meditation and just quiet your mind and think of that person. Think of that person that did you the worst, the most harm you have ever experienced in your life. And or even if it's a little small grudge, you can just say, okay, you know what? You hurt me to the core, but I forgive you. It's probably not going to take one day. Probably going to take you weeks, months, maybe even years. But if you stick to that, I'm pretty sure you can eventually forgive that person. The power of forgiveness is something else, So, yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Like I said, I usually record on Wednesdays and Fridays. And if you like this, subscribe to my podcast. Check me out on YouTube at Alicia Pink. And my Instagram is at the Alicia Pink. I usually post, inspirational quotes there and things like that, and some videos up there as well. So, yeah, guys, thank you for listening. This is Alicia Pink signing off. Have a lovely day. Bye.